Hello, everyone. Sarah here. I want to know what story you most resonate with. When you were a kid growing up, there's got to be stories. We were read stories, we watched movies that are stories, we were told stories, and we still have stories. We've got stories on stories. We've got stories about good things from the past. We've got stories about things that really, really hurt from the past. And our life is a story. And so much of our identity, where we're at in life, who we believe we are, is because of a story that's going on. And there are so many stories now that even my daughter loves and tells me to tell her about. And some stories I watch and I'm like, plug your ears, please turn off your unconscious mind. Do not allow those seeds to be planted because that's not how it is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but you can't just go through life not connecting with stories. We all connect with stories. That's part of the beauty of being human, is we've got stories and we share them, we connect over them, we understand each other, we get each other because of the stories that are shared. So I want to know what story you most resonate with that you feel may have led you to be where you're at today. And the story that came to mind when I was thinking about this was the story of Cinderella. The story of childhood emotional neglect, the story of trauma from your past, and all the kinds of trauma. And I always talk about this, right? Big T traumas, little t traumas. There are so many, especially emotional trauma. Emotional trauma is what leads us to feelings of worthlessness, helplessness, hopelessness, feelings that we want to no longer be here, feelings that we can't make it through this current situation and current thing that we're experiencing in life. It's what leads to us holding on to this emotional pain inside and projecting it onto everyone that we love and really limiting small feeling insignificant lives, lives that feel like this is no way to live. I don't want to live like this. And because this is no way to live and I don't want to live like this and I'm living like this, please take me. There's nothing I can do. And looking for things outside of ourselves for the answers, all while still carrying around the same story inside. So, with that, the story of Cinderella, I found it. We've got this book. My daughter loves this book, bedtime stories. And I think she loves it because it's bedtime stories. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember reading this. I remember reading that book and that book and that book. And we watched the movie and she loves it. And it's the prince and the princess who falls in love with the prince and they live happily ever after. And I thought, oh my God, that is what I thought was going to happen with the narcissist. That is why I literally felt like Cinderella did. Like I got swept off my feet, like I had met Prince Charming, like everything was just going to be happy and wonderful with this person, because that's exactly what emotional manipulators and abusers do. They make you believe that. You buy into the story, and your inner unhealed wounds and emotional pain go, oh, you're going to be my savior. You're going to be my rescuer. I am finally, I'm going to get everything I've ever wanted. I'm going to live life happily ever after. I can't wait. Where do I sign? Let's do this. Let's go. And then it turns out very, very differently. And if you haven't yet, this is going to be a harmless self plug. I just launched my new journal, 3 little words, to help you if you want a journaling through this. It tells my story in the beginning. This is a faith-based journal. So my story about how I reconnected with my faith after that. Because I didn't want to live anymore. It was like, nope, not a happy ending, but I want an ending and I'm not getting it. So please, let's create it. Thank God he had other plans. But that story of Cinderella. Her father's gone, her mother's gone. She lives with her step sisters and stepmother, and they're evil and they treat her horribly. Right? I was like, oh my gosh. Cinderella was always cheerful, was always kind, was always so sweet, was always so polite. Right? And I think about Cinderella. Did she feel safe to use her voice? Did she feel safe to stand up for herself, to speak up for herself? Or was she so scared? She just felt like a shell of herself, a shell of a person, a shell of a human. She was treated like a slave. She had nowhere to go. She felt powerless, hopeless, helpless, trapped. All of those things that you feel when you're in a relationship with a narcissist and an emotional manipulator and an emotional abuser. And here she was, this loving, kind, compassionate, sweet, caring girl. who truly had a heart of gold. And isn't it funny that it's not funny that you find when you've got this heart of gold, you connect with people who want to take that from you. They see your worth and they see your value and they're envious of it and they're jealous of it and they will do anything to try and take it from you, leaving you feeling like she did when she left the ball. Her clothes were ripped, shattered, torn, pieces everywhere. And she felt like, why did I even think that that would be a good idea? Why did I even hold on to that hope and excitement and joy that this could turn out any differently than it had been? And you get to that point in your own story in life where you can really, really connect and relate with Cinderella. You're kind, you're pure, you're loving, you're compassionate, you are a giver. You would do anything for anyone because it's just who you are. And you've got other people in your life looking at you like this and treating you like this. And others, those little flying monkeys going, yeah, get them. They deserve it. And you're thinking, man. And all the while that internal processing, those unconscious beliefs are telling you they're right. I deserve to be treated like this. I don't deserve any better. I deserve these raggedy old clothes. I deserve to work hard and have nothing to show and prove of it. I work my you-know-what off, and I'm just treated like more and more garbage. I deserve to feel like a slave and not receive any goodness in return, even though that's all that I give. And I sit outside and I cry alone. I have no one to talk to because this little fairy godmother, they're not real. What's real are the emotional abusers and the way that I feel. Oh, but she's coming to rescue me. Another rescuer, another savior. And you put your hope in rescuers and saviors. And that's what the narcissist loves to use and what they see in you. That you will grasp onto that, like they're that life preserver thrown out for you because they see that you're drowning because you feel inside that you are. And you hold on to it, white knuckle it for dear life. Please rescue me, save me. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I can't. I'm going to drown. I'm going to die. And so you feel alone, crying that no one cares, no one sees you. And even if they did, they would laugh at you. And so you stuff it and bottle it in. And you don't let them know and you don't let them see because more shame, more guilt, more embarrassment, more feelings of no self-worth, of no belief, no trust, no self-confidence. And then another promise, I can change this for you. I can turn this around for you. I can make this better for you. And you're thinking, oh, really? Okay. And so you put your hope in something else outside of you, in a dress, in a ball gown. Hope in another person, this prince will come and sweep me off my feet and save me. And this is what I call the relationship jumping, relationship hopping. You get out of one really bad one and you're just so starving for love and that deeply rooted unconscious fear that if you're single or you're alone, it really means that you're unlovable and you'll be alone forever. And you don't take that time to heal, you just jump right to the next good thing, the next best thing, and you put your hope in all of that, and you're going to be my savior. And then you feel let down again. And nobody knows the story, right? Of if they actually live happily ever after. Because after all, it's just a story. Where is it? How does the story connect and relate with your life? Who are you putting into being your savior? Who are you hoping will come rescue you? And how do you feel that you're ever going to be rescued with those inner unconscious beliefs you have about yourself that you deserve to be treated like that you must deserve it because it's the way you're being treated? And whose thoughts are those? Yes, they're theirs, but they're in your head. You're hearing them, you're saying them. You're making unconscious agreements with those thoughts. And that's why your life is living the way it is. That's why your life feels the way it feels when it feels empty, hopeless, helpless. That's why your life feels like it's never going to change. You see, the circumstance and the situation can change. When Cinderella was at home being treated like a slave, and when she left the ball because the clock struck 12 and she ran away because she was afraid to be seen. She was afraid that the prince would find out who she really was and he wouldn't love her for who she really was. Because who she was someone who was all dressed up, pretending to be royalty, when inside she felt like a slave. Now, we don't know how that story ends, but we know where we're at in our story. Are you still pretending? Are you still hoping that something outside yourself will come and save you and rescue you and change your life so that you can live happily ever after? Where are you putting your faith and your hope and your trust? And more importantly, what are those unconscious beliefs you developed about yourself because the way you were treated from other people in the past? How are they affecting, influencing your life? How are they dictating how you feel about yourself and your life and where you're at in it and the things to come? Are they just going to maintain? Are they going to slowly and progressively get worse? You have no hope for the future, or think that it's going to take forever to change. And all the while, you're still stuffing your feelings, bottling your feelings, ashamed of your feelings, pretending that you don't have them, in hopes that someday you will act as if long enough that you will believe that. You believe your own lies. It's no wonder you feel like, I don't know if I'm any better than the abuser. I honestly can say that I believe that they believe their lies. That's why they live the lives that they do. Am I any better than them? How could I be? There's no hope for me. Never going to change. The power is within. When the unconscious beliefs you have about yourself because of the ways that you were treated or not treated in the past. You see, it's not always the ways that you were treated. It's a combination of that and the ways that you weren't treated. You weren't treated with unconditional love. You weren't loved for who you are. You were loved for what you could do for others. It was a conditional love. And now you love yourself with conditions. You hate your flaws. You beat yourself up when you perceive that you fail, instead of seeing it as a lesson and an opportunity to continue to learn and grow and become an even more loving, caring, kind, compassionate version of you to yourself. You see, you extend that to others, but when that is turned around and someone says, give that to yourself, you go, what? I how do I do that? And you feel completely stuck and blocked, like you can't figure it out. What do you mean? I, can you say that again? It's like you were speaking another language. I don't. Did I Google Translate that? And that's where you're stuck. That's where you're blocked. And until you become unstuck and unblocked, you realize I'm always going to be stuck and blocked there. I got nothing. I guess is the way it is. It is what it is. Isn't that what they say? Man, this sucks. And if that's where you're at in life and you are ready to get out of that place in your life, ready to truly release and let go emotionally, energetically, spiritually, physically, the things that your body is holding on to that you can't seem to figure out or break through on your own, would love to connect with you. When you're ready for that happy ending, not an easy ending. We don't know how her story ended, but we know how we want ours to end. We know it's not always going to be an easy, smooth road where there are going to be bumps in it, but we are all looking for that happy ending. You see, when we grow up, we become programmed, and these childhood stories that we hear, that we learn, we connect with, and we relate with, have become a part of us, and also a part of what we dream of and we desire and what we know we deserve. We deserve that happy ending, and we deserve a happy, fulfilling, loving life where we truly feel safe to be ourselves and safe to speak up to people who are belittling you and treating you horribly. Safe to walk away from that, not trapped by that. Safe to establish boundaries and use our voice instead of suppressing it and holding it back. Safe to know we're worthy of love, respect, to be treated the same way that we treat others, right? That kindergarten rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. And now we probably hear ourselves going, I couldn't treat them the way that they treat me. It's just not in me. And because I can't, I get used, abused, and taken advantage of, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. And I don't know what to do to not become who I am. When you're ready to take that emotional journey into yourself and to truly healing and transforming those inner emotional wounds that leave you feeling completely stuck in your life, that leave you feeling dissatisfied, unsatisfied in your relationships, in your career, at who you see when you look in the mirror and you see yourself staring back at you and you go, I don't know who that person is. It's like a stranger staring at me. Is that fun? Who is that? Used to be a happy person, a person who really saw the joy in everything. And now I don't even want to look at myself. I just look down, away. I just check my teeth. Do I have anything in them? Does my hair look okay? Okay, off, start my day. When you're ready to take that next step to truly transforming your life and rewriting your story, really having power, control over the ending and having the ending be better than you ever thought it could be. I would love to connect with you. I'd love to see you inside of our program, Transforming Past Pain to Present Power. You feel it in this moment, even if it's hard. I am truly loved. I am truly safe. I am truly supported by myself, and I connect and resonate and relate with others who feel the same about themselves, and together, that is my support group. No longer connected to negative, toxic people who use, abuse, and take advantage of you, because that is not what you do to yourself. And this story, this journey is about transforming your inner mind, heart, and soul, and not worrying about the way that others treat you, because you no longer will stay in that position and go, it's okay. You know, they said they're sorry and they'll never do it again. No. But the journey to healing and transforming has to begin within. And if you're ready to completely expedite that and you're interested more in working one-to-one together, I'd love to see if we're a good fit too. You can book a call with me to see if we're in alignment to do so. Otherwise, I would love to see you inside of our program. You can find more information using the links, using the links, not the links, in the description below in this video. All right, you guys, I love you. And that is it for today. Goodbye for now.